Just before this one starts, guys, you still have time to donate to Lyle Taylor's Pink October campaign for Cancer Research UK, so all you need to do is text CAFC90 and then your donation to 70070 and you can still donate to the cause. Today's video is sponsored by OneFootball. Now guys, this is undoubtedly the best football app on the market right now, and of course lets you do everything that you'd expect, such as browse through the latest football videos and news stories from football all around the world, but it also enables you to do so much more. For example, you can interact with score predictions for any game and see what other fans think. You can customize which teams and competitions you're following across the world, so the app only gives you notifications you're interested in. In the transfers tab, you can browse all the latest gossip and see the strength rating of each transfer rumour. And if you're a proper football nerd like me, you can look through your entire team squad, detailed stats on each player, and even follow players so that you can follow any major news stories on their career. And there's plenty more I haven't mentioned, and the best part is that the app is completely free, so make sure you go to the top of the description and get downloading, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already. You'd be silly not to. This time on Charlton Weekly, Karl Robinson returns to his former club, Charlton dispose of promotion contenders, and Lyle Taylor does a bloody good job of promoting cancer awareness. So welcome back to another episode, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. The last rendition of Charlton Weekly, where we did experience that vlog, that little trip to Stevenage where we did win 8-0, and boy did we bounce back from that with some decent league form as well. We'll get onto that a little bit later in the video. But first of all, the most recent fixture, Charlton 1, Oxford United 1. Now Karl Robinson came back to the Valley to experience his first game against his former employers, and I didn't personally see much hostility towards Karl, but I did definitely notice, and I'm sure anybody did if you were there was a lot of hostility for Ricky Holmes, our former winger. Now for me, this is kind of bizarre, as I don't think he particularly left in a really bad manner. A lot of people say he did, but I feel like there was a situation where he had one more chance in his entire professional career to get that Premier League opportunity. He saw that glimpse of stardom, of top level football, and he kind of went for it, and I think we were very, very keen as well, and very, you know, up for letting him go, which I think a lot of people forget and a lot of people choose to ignore. But, you know, everybody's entitled to their opinion. If you feel like Ricky Holmes left in a bad way, that's completely fine. I personally don't feel like that, and I thought it was a shame that Ricky Holmes received that reception, because for me, when he put that Charlton shirt on, he gave 110% every single time, and we used to love him. So yeah, I understand that he left at a time when we needed him, but I think there was a situation that was way beyond just his individual sort of desire that led to him leaving. Anyway, less about Ricky Holmes and more about Charlton right now and what matters to us right now. So the game ended 1-1. We couldn't kill it off, and for me that was a little bit bizarre, because how can we go from disposing of a team as good as Barnsley? They have probably been the best team in the league, one of the best teams at the very least in the league this season, and we completely dismantled them, beat them 2-0, and then we go to a team that's pretty much bottom of the table, or we host them, sorry, and yeah, we can't really have that same clinical edge with more or less the same starting 11. Obviously, Darren Pratley, for example, he was playing at centre-back for the first time in his career. He was actually quite good, you know, he was a decent little sort of League One Mascherano type figure at centre defence for us. But yeah, I don't know, I think that Bielik not being in the squad, maybe not being fit enough to do a Saturday, Tuesday, maybe impacted it a bit, because we definitely noticed when he came back against Barnsley, so maybe that had something to do with it. But for me, we had plenty of chances to kill the game off, plenty of chances to go 2-0, 3-0 up, and we just didn't do it, and that may hinder us this season if we want to get anywhere near that top 2, potentially even that top 6 this season. That could be one of our downfalls. So guys, let me know in the comments, how important do you think a right-footed defender is? Obviously there's been talk of Naby Sarr and Jason Pearce playing at centre-back, and I feel like when there's two right-footed centre-backs, you don't really talk about it as much as when you have two left-footed centre-backs, and I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because there's more right-footed players on the pitch in general, so maybe, you know, the game tends to go a certain way. I'm not entirely sure. It's an interesting concept to think about, but certainly Lee Bowyer has made us quite aware in some of his post-match interviews and stuff like that, that Jason Pearce is not comfortable on the right side of defence. So let me know your thoughts about that in the comments. And we'll move on to Saturday's game, the one before the 1-1 draw against Oxford, and that was of course the 2-0 win against Barnsley. Now, like I just touched on, Bielik came back against Barnsley for this game, and he did make us look a lot more balanced at the back. I think we look like a better side when he is playing, and this tweet right here from myself does summarise how I felt about this game after the match. It was just the perfect day, you know, a clean sheet, a really good defensive and attacking display, no goals conceded, 2 goals scored from one of our homegrown talents, Karl, who, by the way, this year has been incredible, and especially after that sort of difficult beginning to the season he had with all of those allegations and stuff like that surfacing just before the season started. So he's bounced back from that really well, and I don't know, I think the only problem that we're having at the moment is inconsistency. Are we good enough for promotion this season with the inconsistency that we're seeing? We can go and beat, I don't know, Bradford away 2-0, we can go and beat Barnsley 2-0, and then we'll draw against Oxford. This is such a typical sort of set of events for Charlton this season to sort of happen. Is it down to squad depth? What is it down to? Make sure you leave your comments and thoughts on that as well down below, and we can get chatting about that as well. So, you know, overall 4 points from 2 home games. It's not perfect, but it's decent, and it will be defined how good it is by whether we go and beat Rochdale on Saturday. We'll touch on that a little bit later as well. But third thing that I want to mention after those 2 games, cancer awareness. Now, if you were at the game, you will have noticed that the matchday screens, I made them pink. I wanted it to be a sort of big pink event, and, you know, Charlie, it wasn't just that. That was just my contribution. Obviously, we had pink wigs, pink kits, pink mascots, pink hair, pink hats. So many pink things that the club sort of put in place and encouraged people to do to raise this cancer awareness. And it all started with this man, Lyle Taylor, who did a fantastic job. Now, let's just listen to his interview, or a snippet of his interview after the game, and how he felt about this this cause and about how football is tackling things like this.
I'm obviously very, very proud that I've been able to be to have an idea like this and to be part of it. Okay, we've got the mind stuff on the back of the shirts, but who actually does anything about that? We've been playing now, what, we 14 games into the season. I've not heard anything about that charity. So what's going on? Prostate cancer last year. The only time we ever heard about that was when the prostate cancer badges came round. Now, my granddad's got prostate cancer and he's living with it. But we never knew anything about that until our boys, by the way, put these badges on for a couple of weeks. All right, okay. But what is it? Why are we doing it? What's it raising? Where's the awareness coming from?
So yeah, great job. We had bucket collectors, like I said, pink kits, pink mascots, pink hair, pink hats, and yeah, a great representation from Charlton, who have just shown how much of a fantastic community club they are. It's a great cause, and it's really good to see that Lyle Taylor was able to make this all happen. But let me know as well what you think about his sort of comments about, should the EFL and these big bodies and these big high-paid people be doing more for charity, more for cancer awareness? Let me know if you think that that was Lyle Taylor just sort of, I don't know, maybe milking that a little bit, or whether you think that he definitely had a point, because I felt like his passion was there and he really meant what he was saying. So to summarise, we are now 11th in League One. However, it's a very, very tight league. We may be 11th, but we've got a game in hand, and we are 3 points from 5th place, so things could change very, very quickly. Now, I am expecting us to beat Rochdale at the weekend. I think we might do it like 1-2-0, maybe even 3-1, something like that. I think we'll get a couple of goals at least, and it's just whether we can sort of keep it up shop at the back, I think, whether we get that emphatic victory or not. But yeah, it's a tight table this season, guys, and I think that we are going to be either cut adrift in the next sort of 6 to 8 weeks, or we're going to be right up there with that sort of top 12 that are always sort of pushing and knocking on the door of the top 6. Do you think, though, that Charlton Athletic are good enough to go up this season? That is the title of the video, and that is the main question that I want to know from you guys. So a poll is about to pop up right now on the top right hand corner of your screen, and I want you guys to go and vote and pick the most appropriate answer, and let me know if Charlton Athletic, in your opinion, are good enough to go up this season. Also, obviously, in the comments, let's encourage discussion here. Let's get chatting about why you think they are or why you think they aren't. And finally, in regards to Charlton news, just a quick one to say that Billy Clark is nearly back and available for first team selection from his injury that kept him out for quite a long time. We missed him for the majority of last season. We haven't seen him in action this season yet, and of course he was quite an exciting player for us when he did play those sort of opening 7, 8, 9 games, however many he played. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him back, and I think he is going to fit into Lee Bowyer's sort of formation and the way he likes to play, whereas judging by the end of last season, I wasn't quite sure if that was going to be the case, but I'm definitely excited to have him back. So Billy Clark got 45 minutes, I think, for like the youth team or something, you know, just in the week, and I think that that's a really positive sign. I'm looking forward to having him back, and that is one more really solid League One player to have at our disposal with the sort of thin squad that we've got, I suppose, so that's a real boost. And as always, guys, a Fantasy League summary. Let's have a look at who is winning the Fantasy League going into this game week. And would you look at that, it is still Klaas Jensen from Adrian Comer, Tom Bramley's Slabhead 11, is coming in a close second, but with 598 points. And I said a close second, but actually it's not that close because he is like 40-50 points ahead there, Klaas Jensen. And yeah, look at this team. It's really, really good. We've got Leno in goal, Robertson, Alonso and Doherty at the back, Fraser, Hazard and Salah with Richarlison in the middle, and Mitrovic and Wilson and Aguero up front. However, I have to just make this point, right? Look at the game week points over here, so this tab here. And who won this game week? Let's have a look. 74 there, you can see that's the highest. That is McLagan's Men 11 from Spencer. I don't know if I just said that right, but here we go. Who got the highest scoring team this week? Oh look, it's me, 78 points. And if it wasn't for my atrocious performance in previous weeks, I'd probably be somewhere near the top. Schlongchester, Pickford had a worldie for me, saved that penalty. You know, Chilwell 4 points, Robertson 8, Salah, captain, Decore, the 2 silvers, and Tosin as well. Sort of like a, I don't know if he's really commonly picked, I imagine not, but I thought that he was going to have a good season. Anyway, my team smashed it this week, but I'm still quite near the bottom of the table. If we go back and have a look, I'm still 36th out of, I think, about 53, yeah, 53 teams. So guys, make sure you keep doing your fantasy leagues, your fantasy teams each week, I mean, and basically it's going to be a real exciting week of Premier League, or season, sorry, of Premier League football, and we'll see who wins this come the end of the season. As ever, I must remind you that there will be a prize, so keep making the transfers for your teams, guys, don't forget. But that is going to be it for this week's video, guys. Make sure you slap a like on this one for me, make sure you leave a comment down below, make sure you subscribe if you are new and want to see more content like this, more football content and more FIFA 19 content. Yeah, so keep posted for that. Follow my socials, they're probably on the screen right about now. And I'll see you later with another episode of Charlton Weekly, and of course with the Charlton career mode that we've got going as well. See you later, guys. Take care of yourselves, and sweet.